Who determines the minimum lot size? So this minimum lot size, this is decided by the local planning commission typically, or whatever local government is basically in charge of creating these zoning ordinances. So for that minimum lot size, that's going to be established by the government, some form of the government, depending how high up it is, depends on the local area it is that you're in. But the government basically is saying, okay, every lot has to be at least this large. Now, you might be in an area that doesn't have a minimum lot size for this, but most areas do, especially if it's a place that is being actively developed. A lot of these master plan communities, they'll have this. And what has to happen with this is we would basically lay out what this is going to look like with all of our lots that we are going to develop in our neighborhood here. We would basically lay that all out on what's called a subdivision plat map. And we would submit that plat map to our local planning commission. And then one of the things that they're looking for on there to make sure before they approve this is, does it meet the minimum lot size? And so this is why it's important as a developer to understand this calculation here, because what you're trying to figure out is, okay, how many lots can I fit in there? And then you could use that to determine, okay, I could sell these lots in this area for probably about X amount of dollars, how much return on investment it is that I can expect for this particular property. So let's go ahead and go about solving this here. So we've got our 160 acres. We've got 30% is unusable. We've got a 12,000 minimum square footage for each lot. So what we have to do first, because this is in square feet and then this is in acres, we're dealing with different terms here, so we have to turn that into the same unit. And in order to turn acres into square feet, we've got 160 acres, and we're going to go ahead and multiply that by the magic number of 43,560. 43,560. That's the 4 old ladies going 35 and a 60, or 4 and 3 is 7, 5 and 6 is 11. Whatever it is that you use to remember 43,560. That's definitely important. Not just a good thing to know, but also for your real estate exam. If you're using these videos to study for your real estate exam, this is a very likely question you could see on your real estate exam. And this 43,560 number, that's probably going to show up in your exam one way or another. So make sure you've got that down. But basically what we're doing here, again, is figuring out how many square feet it is that we're dealing with here. So let's take the 160 acres, multiply by 43,560, and we get 6,969,600 square feet. So that's how many square feet it is that we have to develop here. Now every lot has to be at least 12,000 square feet, but can we put lots on all 160 acres? The answer is no. We have 30% that's going to be for our streets, open green spaces, things like that. So what we need to do now, and if you imagine this kind of like as a pie chart, imagine it as a pie chart. So if we have 30% that's unusable, that leaves us with 70% that is usable. Both of them add to 100, 70, 30, 100%. So whatever's left over is what we have that's usable. 70% usable for developing lots, 30% unusable. So what we're going to do is take this 6,969,600 number and multiply it by 0.7, or 70%. And we're going to get 4,878,720 that's usable. Let's put that up here so we've got some more space to work with. 4,878,720 usable square feet. So now that we have our usable square feet, we could go ahead and just take that number and divide it by 12,000, because every lot must be at least 12,000 square feet. We've got 4,878,720 feet overall usable. So we're just going to go ahead and divide that, figure out how many 12,000 we could fit in there. And we get an answer of 406.56. So 406.56. Numbers turned out just like I wanted them to here, because a very important thing to remember with this 406.56, or anytime you have any sort of decimal for a number of lots. So with our number of lots, again, our minimum lot size is 12,000. This says we could have 406 12,000 square foot lots, and then one lot that's maybe about 6,500 square feet or so. Well, that 6,500 square foot lot isn't going to work. That's not, if you submit that with a 6,500 square foot lot on there that you're planning to put a house on, you're going to get rejected because you don't meet the minimum lot size. It's not meeting that minimum square footage. So even though we're close here, even if this number was, let's say if it was, even though this was, the math didn't come out this way, even if it was 0.99, we're still going to just drop that off completely. You round down always to the next whole number because you can't have any fraction of a lot. Even if it was 406.9999999, you'd still be short of the 12,000. Once you hit 407, that's when you have enough for another 12,000 square foot lot. But any decimal here, you just drop off the decimals completely at this point because you can't have any fraction of a lot. So 406 would be our answer for this one. We'd be able to put 406 lots in this community here. And now let's say that, let's throw another piece of math at this here. If we're trying to figure out our profitability we could have on this. So we've got the 406 lots here. Let's say that we bought these 160 acres, let's say for $1 million. So our cost of them was $1 million. It's going to cost us another $1 million, let's say, to develop. And our development costs, these are going to be things like maybe getting rid of the trees that are in the area, or paying our engineers to generate these maps and do all the figures, and all the different costs it is before you could actually start building out this neighborhood. That's going to be your development cost. So let's say our development cost is going to be about $1 million as well. So we've got these two different costs here. And we could basically figure out, okay, what our break-even point is. Basically, our total cost that we have in here is $2 million. So that's our total cost. But do we want to just break even? No, what's the point of all this work if we're just going to break even? We want to make a profit, a certain percentage of profit. Let's say we want a 20% profit. If we want a 20% profit, we just multiply this by 20%. 20% of 2 million is 400,000. So we'd have $2,400,000, which would be our minimum selling price, plus our 20% profit. So if we got 406 lots that we need to recoup $2,400,000 for, now the question comes up of, okay, what do we have to sell each lot for in order to get our $2,400,000? So what we're going to do for this year is take our $2,400,000 and go ahead and divide this by 406. And we got about $5,911 and about 33 cents. We'll just round that up to 5,912, so make sure we recoup that. But yeah, $5,912. If we sell every lot for $5,912, we will make back our cost for our land, make back our development cost, as well as get our 20% profit it is that they're looking for, that we were looking for in this situation. So that gives you an idea of, okay, can we sell these lots for about $6,000? Most markets you typically can, unless we're dealing with very small lots here. But 12,000 square feet, that's a decent sized lot, almost a quarter acre there at 12,000 square feet. So that's a good sized lot for $6,000. We could probably sell it for more than that. Maybe on top of that, we've got licensed sales associates that we kind of pay them maybe $4,000 for every lot it is that they sell. And if we're doing that, then we could sell these lots for $10,000. Is that still feasible? Is that still something we could do? These are the questions you ask based on your market. And if it is, okay, it looks like we've got a plan here. If these are accurate numbers, if our plan is accurate, if we've gone through and we've checked this and we've built in some buffer for the unknown, the unexpected, figuring a 20% profit, if that's the profit that we need, that's probably not the number you want to use. You want to use the profit it is that you want in this scenario. So when you use the profit it is that you want, if you want a 20%, but if you still get 10%, you'll still be good because it's still over and above your cost, then you're good, because you will have these unexpected costs and unknown elements that'll pop up that'll end up costing more money with this here.
You are watching
Ask the Instructor every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor.